This next company is really interesting. The name of it is Quantum BioPharma. They're listed on NASDAQ. Here today with us is Jason Sawyer, who's the head of finance and M&A. And they are focused on a detoxification beverage, which essentially eliminates hangovers, from what I'm told. And we're actually going to have them hand out a few samples, I hear, at the reception. Very timely. Jason.
Thanks, Kevin. Everybody, appreciate it. Doing my own mic check here. Can everybody hear me? Excellent, appreciate it. As Kevin said, and very nice to catch up with him after 15 years. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces. Thank you very much to ArcStone and Kingswood. It's great to be here. I'm head of finance and M&A for Quantum BioPharma, a position that I recently took. I've been 30 years in venture capital, alternative investments, private equity as an advisor and an investor. This is possibly the most exciting company that I've been involved with. And this is the first formal presentation of our dual platform of Quantum's product and commercialization right now. The first thing that I want to talk about is our platform, Unbuzzed. We are a research and development heavy company based in Toronto, traded on NASDAQ, as Kevin said, under the symbol QNTM. We are not seeking financing. The company has 3 years of cash in the bank at the moment for its current burn rate and for commercialization of the two product platforms that I'll be talking about. Sorry, just wasn't informed what this was. So as I mentioned, R&D is the focus of the company. We have a world-class team that ultimately comes out of University Health Network, led by Dr. Lakshmi Kotra. And we have created, for the first time ever, a scientifically formulated combination of vitamins, minerals, extracts that are designed to accelerate the natural metabolization of alcohol in the body. The product for the consumer market is called Unbuzzed. That product has been recently launched on Amazon and on our website. And after formulating the product and also having the pleasure of taking part in the anecdotal tests, we are now in full clinical trials, just like this is a medical product, although it is a nutraceutical, all natural, vegan. We've released the strips, the powder strips, on the site and on Amazon. And the partnership that we've created has Quantum holding 25% of Celli Nutrition, which is a business that is led by, for those of you who are familiar with, I was not until possibly a year and a half or 2 years ago in this incredible story, Celsius. Celsius fitness beverages, the negative calorie, also scientifically backed fitness and nutrition drink. That business was led by Jerry David from 10 cents and the team that took over from him to $100. Currently trades at a $10 billion enterprise value. Combined with Kevin Harrington, one of the original sharks on Shark Tank, our marketing team is now taking Unbuzzed to market and really creating a product category within a space that's supposed to grow by about 300% between now and 2030. 7% royalty on gross revenue from Unbuzzed. Our 25% equity stake is undilutable until the valuation of Celli Nu reaches $1 billion. That's a number I can sink my teeth into. We also have Recovery, which is the clinical hospital medical community version of this. And with the clinical trials that are going on right now, these are not your average nutraceutical. This is a fully scientific, randomized, controlled, placebo-controlled study. By the end of this year, we'll have the results, which we largely expect to mimic everything we've seen anecdotally and in the trials that we did on our own with full observation of a 15 to 30 minute difference in ultimately your state of inebriation. So for those of you who are interested in talking a little bit more about Quantum and intend to attend the cocktail party, we do have some samples. My partner is here with those samples. We will be handing them out, but you have to prove that you have aftermarket trading capacity on your iPhone, and then you get the sample, so you can simultaneously trade into Quantum. So not I'll get to the 100% ownership of the medical rights for the product. And also, the second platform that we have is a new chemical entity, an NCE, for the treatment of multiple sclerosis and other diseases and afflictions that come from the demyelinization of the neurons and the nerves in the brain. This is the reason I don't present with PowerPoints. This science comes from 14 years now of clinical research. We've gone through phase 1 safety and tolerance studies on this already, and if you'll make a note to go to our website, you'll see one of the most fascinating things about this new chemical entity, which means it was never consumed. It is a chemical formulation never consumed by a human until we did what's called the sentinel dose of this now approximately 2 years back. What you'll see depicted is the effective remyelinization, that is the recoding of, not done before, of the nerve pathways in a mouse, where the mouse is unable to walk from the lower body, completely disabled, and over a 60-day period back to full physical capacity. It's a fascinating 3-minute video. I'd encourage you to go there and take a look at it. And you'll see what Dr. Kotra, whose name is on that patent, worldwide exclusive and global rights for that new chemical entity. You might also note the name Dr. Eric Hoskins, who sits on the board of Quantum as well. Dr. Hoskins was the Federal Minister of Health for a period of 2014 to 2018. The scientific team with Quantum is the reason that we see a lot of inbound new science and potential M&A as well. Going back to Unbuzzed and some of the depictions here of the RTD that we'll see released in Q1 2025 with the former Celsius team. Company is doing a financing, and the intention ultimately is for that independent entity to end up public itself. We're all familiar with the impacts of alcoholism and just the use of alcohol, staggering number of $250 billion annually, and lost productivity, the health costs and concerns in the global marketplace. And we also, if we do enjoy a drink, understand the size of the market, whether it involves simply having one of these after a cocktail party or planning for less of a hangover in the morning. We do consider it a prehab as well, but we are the first entrant with a scientific formulation for dealing with this, for faster, healthier metabolism of alcohol and allowing a quicker path back to, from incoherent potentially, or inebriated, back to coherent and clearer thoughts and a better overall feeling. This depicts a little bit of, you might ask, why has this never been tackled scientifically before? This is a general depiction of the 2 enzymes in the liver that are affected that allow this to happen. Of course, we have filed for patents on this. We have been told that it's novel and patentable, and we are pursuing that process globally. These are the simple explanations of what it is you can expect if you're taking Unbuzzed, if you've had those extra couple of cocktails or glasses of wine and you'd like to get into a position where you're clearer minded again and feeling better. Not to mention the ability to protect from hangover. The distribution strategy, watching the growth of Celsius and applying those principles and that entire team, which is a stunning growth rate if you're talking about revenue, and you're also and units sold, but certainly the share price. This is a conference, an investment conference, and I'm going to get to the kind of the third platform I'd like to talk about, which is the capital structure of the company, which I think you'll find quite enticing. There will be an omni-channel approach to selling Unbuzzed. Recovery will benefit, the recovery product will benefit, of course, from the clinical trials being completed this year, by the end of the year, and then publishing those results and having them peer-reviewed, which has never been done before in this space. This is the 360-degree marketing approach and omni-channel approach. Obviously, consumer packaged goods these days and the ability to get onto TikTok Shop, to do everything that Kevin Harrington and his team did to see absolutely explosive growth with Celsius. We'll now benefit from that on a second time around, not trying to figure it out type of scenario. To go back to Lucid MS, quickly, we only see therapies in the market that are immunosuppressive, ultimately trying to slow down the progression of demyelinization. Restoration is not apparent in any therapy to date. And people have referred to this as a moonshot. It's important for quantum. It's also important for humanity, for the millions of people globally who suffer from this affliction, the various types of it. And we are working right now on an accelerated path to phase 2 clinical trials, which we expect could take place as early as next year. Observational studies in conjunction with those and a multiple ascending dose rollout of clinical trials could have us in market faster than the vast majority of things. This would be an orally dosed product that could have a huge impact on the, as you see the statistics here for multiple sclerosis around the world. So in summary, world-class team based in Toronto, R&D team that has developed each platform. The near-term catalysts, of course, are around unbuzzed and eventually recovery as well, as Dr. Hoskins and others on our team approach the stakeholders in the Canadian government and the hospital system. Dr. Hoskins ran the largest hospital system in North America and has an intimate knowledge of that. We'll be attempting to take a nutraceutical product onto a pharma product, possibly an IV type of approach to the 26 million alcohol abuse cases that are viewed in emergency rooms, taking up those $1,500 an hour beds that we all know are causing problems, gridlock, and major choke points in the Canadian healthcare system, especially at the emergency level. The royalty in unbuzzed is 7% until we reach $250 million in sales. It then reverts to 3%. And of course, the equity stake is undilutable until the valuation is quite substantial. I think we'll all agree. We've maintained 100% rights to the medical version of this product in recovery. And of course, these are trademarked and intended to be rolled out as brands. The capital structure for those who are professional investors, casual investors, et cetera, with a fully capitalized company, not looking for capital in the near term, 1.9 million shares outstanding, and $7 worth of cash in the bank. If there's anybody in the room who'd like to sell me a couple $100 bills for 40 or 45 bucks, I'll be buying. There's literally at this point in time zero consideration for everything that I've just mentioned. The proven team and track record with the rollout of Unbuzzed, which is now imminent, and we'll start to see sales and major distribution we expect in Q1. Obviously, recovery being the only product of its kind right now, even being contemplated in the hospital system. And then the moonshot of something so important that's already been well established through phase 1, safety and human tolerability, and a company that's trading under its cash and treasury value, we think provides an enticing opportunity for investors. So that is my summary on Quantum BioPharma as we are right now, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. Please.
I'll try to be loud enough. Can you tell us a little bit about recruiting? Because you didn't talk about it, and I'd like to know how that compares to stuff like antabuse or naltrexone. What is
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble. If we could just get the mic.
I was trying to be loud. Sorry.
Thank you.
I thought I was loud. I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about rec-free as opposed to unbuzzed and how that compares to things like, I don't know, antabuse or naltrexone. It's for alcohol abuse, did you say, at the beginning slide?
I'm sorry, you're referring to recovery?
Yes.
And you were looking for some clarity on?
What is that compared to unbuzzed? And because you didn't talk about it specifically.
Yeah,
Can you tell us a bit about it?
So yeah, recovery is ultimately intended to be the hospital, the medical version of the unbuzzed consumer product. Unbuzzed is being released right now as a consumer product in powder packs, powder sticks, which we have tonight. There'll be some who get a chance to try them. They're available on the website as well at Amazon. They're available on the Unbuzzed website. There's no E in Unbuzzed. And ultimately, as I mentioned, the statistic that we became familiar with in the last couple of years is that there are 26 million cases of either acute alcohol intoxication or just something that happens around alcohol that ends up with people in the emergency room. Recovery will be the product that we ultimately intend to be in the emergency room as a substitute for a stomach pump with granular activated carbon, for example. We envision it. This product isn't developed yet. It is being researched further right now with the R&D team, with the science team. We envision it as potentially as an IV product. In that case, we need to go through full clinical trials, but our original intention will be to take the clinical data that we get from this end of 2024 study, which is ongoing right now. Approximately one half of that study is complete, and it is a full medical scientific study, although this is a nutraceutical product. We then will take that data, once it's peer-reviewed in globally renowned journals that are appropriate for this type of product. Our intention is we've already started actually to talk to the stakeholders in Canadian government and healthcare system so that there's something that can allow a patient, the faster, if you think about the overload in the system, the faster you can have somebody back to a state of sobriety, physically and cognitively, you'll be able to have them released from the emergency room, or they'll deal with whatever other ailment they're suffering from that might have been brought on from some form of alcohol misuse. And there's really been nothing since GAC, since granular activated carbon, which is designed to absorb that alcohol in the stomach. There's been nothing there's been no real, in a simple way, to put it, antidote that helps you come down from that high. So this is the medical application. I hope that answers it. And of course, different modes of delivering that are the things that the people way above my pay grade in science are right now working on developing. Yes?
Yes. So Unbuzzed is a nutraceutical. What are the regulatory implications, or is this just a normal food product?
This is a normal food product. We have gone to, and having said that, again, we are going through full clinical trials right now, like it's a medicine, because of the claims we'd like to make. We want the statistical clinical data on the subjects who are, like my first go-round with Unbuzzed, drinking on an empty stomach to experience some level of inebriation, and then having their blood alcohol, their breath alcohol, and then their blood alcohol content measured on the way down. It happens significantly faster using this combination of vitamins, minerals, and extracts by stimulating, turbocharging the two enzymes in the liver that metabolize alcohol. And this deck is published on our site, and you can go and take a look at the basic breakdown of that. But it's a fun experiment. The fact is, it works.
So it's saleable as is based on the current permitting, but you want to change the claims on the packaging?
Yes. Well, yes, that's right. We've actually submitted 10 claims to the FDA. 8 of them were no contest, no debate around what the product does. We're hoping that the final 2 were able to ultimately make based on the statistical data. But it is a food product. It's a nutraceutical.
And so just one other. Could you elaborate on the relationship with Celsius? I think you said there's a financial relationship. Have you sold the equity and retained the royalty, or?
Yes. So there's no relationship with Celsius, but there's a relationship specifically with Jerry David, who was the CEO of Celsius for a period where it first, let's say, exploded, went up 1,500%. Jerry created a team that then took it up another 4,500%. So Jerry David, widely accepted to be the thrust behind Celsius's growth and its management, its operations, set it on the path. That was all done with Kevin Harrington, one of the original sharks on Shark Tank. Kevin's released about 1,000 products and marketed, a direct marketing expert, one of the original sharks on Shark Tank, US's answer, of course, to Dragon's Den, and ran the influencer marketing and campaigns around Celsius. That is our marketing team. So to say that they've done it once before is probably an understatement, and their thoughts are this product is unique. and we'll have every bit the type of explosive capacity in the marketplace.
Yeah, and sorry, so your ownership is you said a royalty?
We own 25%, Quantum owns 25%, which is undilutable until the valuation of Celli Nutrition, which owns Unbuzzed. Celli Nu is a standalone Canadian company, private, incorporated in 2023. Until that reaches $1 billion valuation, we're undilutable. We have a 7% gross royalty until $250 million of sales have been achieved. Obviously, we look forward to that, but that does take a little while to get ramped up to. It reverts to 3% after that.
Thanks.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Any other questions? Jason, they'll be around for a while to answer more questions,
I will.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thanks.